What is going on, Lunatic Fringe? Terra Luna Classic has news happening, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the price action. If you haven't already, then I got a special one here for you. You guys remember Lunc Predator? He's now called at Luna Classic. If you're not giving him a follow, please go give him a follow on X and then join his valid. He's now Luna Classic Lab, and it's a new validator that's in the Luna Classic chain here. And it would be really cool if you guys would go check him out. Been a long-term supporter of Luna Classic and everything going on here. And if you're not already, certainly go follow Happy Caddy Crypto. He and I don't always see eye to eye on everything, but it doesn't really matter. If you support the chain, you probably should support him. So go check those guys out. In the meantime, we got some news that we're going to go over real quick, and then we'll see what we see on the charts. So first and foremost, Kwon is in jail now. He's in prison for 4 months in Montenegro, and then he's going to be extradited to South Korea to stand trial for whatever he's going to be quote unquote convicted of. Now, I am not a fan of what's going on here. They're going to have to prove criminality. You could prove that he was neglectful, but he's going to turn to the white paper and he's going to tell you, hey, you're a grown up. You should read. And that's what makes perfect sense here. So, everybody knew the risks that were associated with an algorithmic stablecoin. They knew what was going on. So I don't see this the same way that people who lost money. And to be fair, I didn't lose any money. I came in as a degen after the fact. Post fact, bought the bottom. So even today, feeling pretty okay about my position. Like I'm not really anything to complain about. But so there's a lot here. This is, basically, again, start with Montenegro, false passports, and look, he's fleeing from the government. Why is he fleeing for the government? Well, you could say, well, because he did something wrong, or you could say because he feels like he's going to be prosecuted unfairly and he didn't do anything wrong. And he's just trying to be the quote unquote hero that we all need. Now, here's the thing. If you're watching your project collapse and you say, well, I need to be able to feed my family, and you cash out some of what you own, is that illegal? No, it's not. So I get the sense and I get the feeling that we're trying to use this because we want to make an example. And listen, it is my opinion that South Korea wants to punish Kwon because investors over leveraged their positions and they got wrecked and they got ruined because they put all of their money into a single project like the dummy they are and got completely annihilated and wrecked. And everybody tells you don't do that, but they did it anyway. And now South Korea is forced to try to create a, they have to put somebody's head on the chopping block. And of course, the guy at the top is that guy, especially when somebody like Kwon, he's not really that likable a guy. So, and I'm not saying that is or is not the case. I'm just saying that that's what I think is going on here. And I don't think that I don't think he's innocent, of course, but I don't think he's as guilty as everybody says either. So that's my opinion. Anyway, so he'll be extradited in the next couple of months, maybe even to the United States to face the Department of Justice and Security and Exchange Commission, who have no jurisdiction. Why is the United States Department of Justice and Security and Exchange Commission even involved in something that happened in South Korea for a South Korean resident doing South Korean type stuff? So this is wild. This is wild. This is an attack, by the way. This is where I get very uncomfortable. Why is the U.S. DOJ and the SEC out here trying to attack somebody from South Korea when South Korea is already like, we got this, bro. So a little curious to see what happens here over the next little while. Don't know what's going to go on, but let's move on here. A machine learning algorithm predicts the Terra Luna Classic. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I want to talk to you today about my newest partner, and that is Cryptonomy Finance. It's a venture capital fund, a trading organization, and a crypto credit company. You can utilize this platform as a crypto wallet, which I'm going to show you in a second, a staking platform. This is going to be something for you guys to maybe earn yourself some yield. And the first thing that we're going to do is come over here. Now, I've already created an account. I've already done my pieces. So I'm going to here start earning. This is your flexible borrowing, right? This is your APY of 24% on Bitcoin, 25% on Ethereum. There's some really good and really nice APY rewards that are available. And as I go down this list, you're going to see a lot of familiar faces. You can even stake your Ben tokens, and you can put these into a flexible yield account. So, let's make a deposit here. We're going to come up here. We're going to make a pop right here. And we're going to, max, we want to do 0.2 right here. And then that's going to be the fixed interest rate is 52.18% more than the flexible. So what we're going to do right here is we're going to make that deposit and we're going to boom. Now, we've made a small deposit here. You will notice that there is a difference, by the way, in some of these cryptocurrencies versus the stables. So we're going to do the same thing over here. And we're going to make a tiny deposit here. We're going to put the rest in. And your interest rate on your Bitcoin is going to be 5.9%. That's a significant amount of reward for minimal risk. Now, I want to show you the launch pool. So if you haven't checked it out yet, these are the past events. And then here are your upcoming events. So if you're looking for some opportunities, looking for places to make a new investment, there are a lot of launching tokens, blockchain services, GameFi, DeFi. There's a whole lot of different things, social applications that are being launched on this launch pool. So I would encourage you guys to go check this place out and start setting up a wallet today and earn yourself some income. This is a great opportunity for you. This is not financial advice. I'm always right. Price. And I'm going to tell you guys, if you want to see the dumbest computer ever, it's got to be this one. Okay. It's got to be this one. And the reason why is because it looks like it used its time to learn and it didn't learn anything. So Haley Lunc, by the way, is who shared this about an hour ago. It says, blah, blah, blah. This is like an AI generated article to begin with. Even though it says it's not, it says that it was done by Toby Loba. It says here, Coin Codex machine learning algorithm gives prediction for the next 7 years. It says in 24 to 26, the prices could range between 4 zeros, 83.97 and 4 zeros, 83.98. What? You don't say. And by the way, this is a neutral 5-day outlook. This is ridiculous. A pivotal shift is expected in 2027, where the price could go up to 4 zeros, 95.91. In the subsequent years, it could be 4 zeros, 34.42 to 3 zeros, 35.58. The roller coaster also continues with the algorithm predicting lows of 8 zeros, 38.08 and a high of 3 zeros, 79. 30. It's just absolutely crazy. Algorithm in 2030 predicts way down and way up. Like clearly, guys, we got to stop for a second and realize here that machine learning algorithms are not where we need them to be yet. They're not predicated based on human sentiment or emotion. They're just basically at this point predicated on what does the chart read. And guess what? If you rely on the charts all the time and you set yourself a computer, a program, an AI trading bot, then more than likely you're going to make very, very small gains, or you're going to end up getting wrecked because the machine cannot predict what is going to happen. Because all of the machines predicting what is going to happen, they get wrecked. If they didn't get wrecked, everybody would be using them. And you might say to yourself, well, everybody was using them and blah, 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 blah. Well, if everybody was using it, they'd be competing against each other and it would just be an absolute disaster and everybody would get wrecked. You don't believe me? Look around. Like it's just look around. AI is not there yet. So this article, sham, absolute sham, ridiculous. It's clickbait. And you know what? Hey, we all do clickbait. As far as proposals goes, the rework of the burn tax to lower the barriers was done. So that's completed. And then we have the upgrade to 2.3.0. And there we are. Now, for charts, it looks like we had a nice little breakout and then it broke back down. Now, I changed this over because Lunc Predator was doing this kind of move right here and saying that this was the breakout. And I said, you know what, fair enough. But like what I thought was, and I'm going to go back down here to what I originally had set up, which was this right here. And I said, this is the way that I see it. I don't see it as a broader chain. It's a wider one. So I think that it broke out. And then once it broke out, we got a back test over here. And now we've got sideways action. The question you might be asking yourself is, why do we have sideways action? Well, that's pretty simple. Bitcoin was down $70 billion yesterday as the U.S. market absolutely capitulated and did what the U.S. market does. I'm not a fan, even though I am a U.S. citizen, I am not a fan of the U.S. market. The U.S. market is garbage to me. They dump on everything. A lot of crybabies in the U.S. market. That's all I'm going to say. A lot of crybabies in that market. But we had a massive dump on Bitcoin. I mean, guys, you look at it right here. You can see just an absolute massive capitulation here, mass event, and that, of course, dunked on all of these other prices and caused this run on it. Now, of course, that's continuing on because the market likes to get scared and it likes to dump when it sees everything else dumping. And what we're seeing is another dump event happening. So I would say right now, as long as we can test right here, and by the way, we're going to end up at the low end of this one more time over here. So now we might say that Lunc Predator, who had set it up like this right here, like maybe, just maybe, we're both wrong, and that this is just a longer term downward trend. Problem with a longer term downward trend is that when it breaks to the upside, it breaks to a lesser area on that upside. Like, for example, if I come down here, then it could be that we bing bong around and just kind of, maybe we test up here at 81 again, and we come all the way down to 7,000, and we come back up here and we have a 10% breakout. Boom, we're right here, lower than we were before. So not a fan of this structure. This is a bearish structure, even though you can say, well, there's a pennant, it's going to have a breakout. Yes, it will, but the pennant breakout is not going to justify the downward pressure on the cost. And I've been looking around for a lot of information on the repeg and when we can get some clarification on that repeg. You know what? Very hard to find right now. So even if you know where to look, very hard to find. So I'm going to keep, I'm going to try to keep you guys informed as best I can. Today, I'm going to figure out once and for all what is going on with the repeg. And we're going to get kind of an idea here on the structure and the form, what it looks like going forward. I mean, maybe nobody's working on it anymore. You never know. You just never know, because you don't have information. You don't have the free flow of information that's coming out here that's being shared with people that we don't have any idea, right? So I'm going to work on that. I'll let you guys know. But if you like the content, make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and leave a comment on the video. If you dislike me, do the same thing, only in reverse. Tell me you don't like me, and then tell me why. And we'll talk to you again very, very soon.